YouTuber faces 20 years in prison after deliberately crashing a plane for views. Oh my God. Do 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 do, and of course it's on Facepalm, which I would say it's a major Facepalm. Oh my God. He was flying the plane. Oh my God, that's a cute little plane too. Holy crap. Well, I mean, not like it was a commercial airliner or something. YouTube pilot Trevor Jacob pleaded guilty to a felony charge after deliberately destroying the wreckage of a plane he intentionally crashed. Pilot purposefully downed the plane in Santa Barbara County on November 24, 2021, which he detailed in a YouTube video cleverly titled, "I Crashed My Airplane." It has over 3 million views, but may result in Jacob spending 20 years in federal prison. This week, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of destruction and concealment with intent to obstruct a federal investigation. How did he obstruct an investigation? How is it concealment if he filmed the thing and then posted it to social media? To film the video, Jacob took off from Lompoc City Airport on a solo flight, purportedly destined for Mammoth Lakes. He intended to eject from his aircraft during the flight and to video himself parachuting to the ground, as well as the plane as it descended and crashed. 35 minutes after taking off, while flying above Los Padres National Forest near Santa Maria, he ejected himself from the plane. It crashed in Los Padres National Forest. 2 days later, he reported the crash to the NTSB, which launched an investigation. They told Jacob he was responsible for preserving the wreckage to be examined. In the subsequent days, the FAA began an investigation. According to the plea agreement, Jacob lied to investigators, saying he did not know where the wreckage was located, despite previously hiking to it to retrieve his video footage. In December, Jacob and a friend flew a helicopter to the crash site and took the wreckage to Rancho Sisquoc in Santa Barbara County, from where it was hauled to a hangar at Lompoc City Airport. He destroyed the remaining wreckage. He confirmed he did so with the intent to obstruct federal authorities and admitted he had intended to profit from the video, which featured promotion of a wallet brand. A wallet brand. All that for a wallet? This was even more cringe. I remember he was like, my buddy died. We're going to go spread his ashes, so I'm just getting the plane ready with my Ridge wallet. Always use Ridge wallets when transporting your dead friend. Then, shockingly, his engine died on the way there, and instead of landing it like anyone else would have done, he jumped out for views. and conveniently the video cuts to when it dies. I'm sure he turned it off for the part where he flipped the mags to off. It was very telling to see the engine windmilling. Another reason he probably went back was to put the engine switches back in a running condition in case the NTSB called his bluff. I'm glad the FAA threw the book at him. A lot of us spend a lot of time trying to make aircraft as safe as possible, and he pulls dumb shit like this. It was the Ridge wallet, LOL. I remember the video. I hope Ridge wallet is now forever associated with plane crashes and stupidity. Holy shit, I think Harrison Ford just became their biggest advertiser. Fly yes, land no. Actually, I was thinking more like, get off my plane. You know what? That wallet company sure got their money's worth of sponsorship. It's like Raycon sponsoring a dude to trebuchet themselves off Mount Everest. What's up, Trebuchet Nation? You know, if there's one thing I hate, it's when you've launched yourself off a mountain while listening to your favorite tunes, but the intense wind resistance pulls your earbuds out. That's why I use Raycon earbuds. Their ergonomic wireless design will stay comfortably seated in your ear, even when falling at terminal velocity, and their noise cancellation can attenuate the sound of roaring winds by up to 28 decibels. But the best part? You can get your first set of Raycon earbuds free when you go to their website and splat. Was a limited time offer. Very limited. How the fuck do you make enough money to buy and destroy a plane, fly a helicopter to pick it up from a forest, and dispose of it all from a video with 3 million views? He has 2 first names and that amount of common sense with a pilot's license. His family is rich, and he has friends with rich families. How the hell are wallets even connected to aviation? Would the money from views cover the costs incurred from the crash, though? How about the attorney's fees? And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for the video evidence I posted online. Did it work? Did he get tons of views? The Department of Justice might have found it. I also wonder, why not rent out a 2-seater and leave a pilot in the plane? Wouldn't that save on the cost? So many layers of preventable stupid here. That video was on the front page of Reddit. Proving once again you get in more trouble for obstruction than the original crime, unless you're the president. What I didn't realize at first is that he pretended the plane malfunctioned by stalling it, thus giving him the excuse to jump. Hey, buddy, I noticed you're renting this plane, but you're alone and wearing skydiving gear. Nobody talks to D.B. Cooper like that. Nobody. Oh, my God. He did it once while playing GTA 5 and thought, why not try this in real life? I remember when this came out, 2,000 pilots immediately popped up in comments with 2,000 reasons why everything he was claiming about this crash could not possibly be true. Oh my God. Okay, now we're getting into bullshit I don't care about. Jesus Christ never introduced himself with pronouns. I am he, dumbass. Ew. SCOTUS uses gender-affirming pronouns. The woke mind virus is infected the Supreme Court. God, I'm so sick of looking at his fake crying face. Yeah. Okay. Reminder, 217 House Republicans voted to cut Meals on Wheels. President Biden's plan, cut wasteful spending on big oil and big pharma. MAGA Republicans bill, cut Meals on Wheels and veterans health care. Just a reminder that if COVID was just like the flu and the people dying were going to die anyway, there wouldn't be a worldwide, unprecedented in modern times drop in life expectancy. Whoa, Asia too. Look what arrived today. The choice is clear. Okay? Knock, knock. Who's there? Joe. Joe who? Joe ass is going to jail. Guy on Twitter repeatedly claims BLM is far worse than J6, then posts a poll to ask people's opinions, gets slapped in the face, then deletes the poll like nothing happened. Oh my God. Which do you honestly and anonymously think was worse? Oh my God, and it's 89 to 11%. Only in Texas. Texas man has been arrested for fatally shooting his girlfriend, Gabriela Gonzalez, after she traveled to Colorado to get an abortion. The man killed her in the Dallas parking lot the day after she returned. So, it's very, very wrong to commit murder by having an abortion. So, let me kill ya. That makes a hell of a lot of sense, don't it? Doesn't have to make sense. This is the fucking circus of a nation we live in right now. Oh my God. Gross. Colorado's finest. Oh yeah, Russian lawyer claims Putin is building settlements for conservatives looking to become expats in Russia for ideological reasons. Did all of you guys just see that new Family Guy episode where Meg goes to Russia and it's like a utopia for her? You know, because her entire life was completely controlled, and over there she's like an 8. I say let them go. They'll be dead in a year. Yes or no? Would you support Jon Stewart interviewing the former president? Oh, I absolutely would. A pool shaped like a dick and balls. Whatever. I want... Eh, I want hot category. Fanboys will fan considering the fact Apple invented Bluetooth. First to have dual camera, first to stream movies to TV. I can see we are $1 trillion. Wrong. Dr. Jop Harston invented Bluetooth in the 90s. The first phone to have dual camera was by LG. Good try, buddy. And streaming movies to TV was out way before Apple. Breaking. Manhattan Supreme Court judge has ordered Donald Trump to sit for a lecture on how to comply with an order restricting him from posting evidence from his criminal case on social media. Trump will be forced to hear the court explain to him what he cannot say. How embarrassing. He has to be sat down and spoken to like he's a third grader because he doesn't understand the very simple rules. and any normal citizen would be sitting in a cell for contempt. Trump gets kid gloves like always and will cry on social media like he's being nailed to a cross. Republicans are treated with the most delicate kitty gloves in this country. Yeah, and it's really pissing me off. You know, because it's like that Star Trek episode with that overgrown child that had to be disciplined by his alien mom because he just decided to pluck the Enterprise crew out of space and play around with their lives like they were toys in his toy box. He seemed to be like totally omnipotent, but he was a complete man-child. He was such a piece of shit. And they got that confirmation when the alien dude's mom showed up and was like, yeah, I'm really, really sorry. Is little Billy doing this again? Just taking aliens off their spaceship who are flying too close to home and just wantonly throwing their lives away and screwing around with them, inconveniencing everyone. I'm so sorry. Time to discipline my piece of shit son. That's what these Republicans are like. That's what these right-wingers are like. I am never going to stop saying this. I compare it to having a bad little dog in the house that needs bad little dog discipline. We have already seen what happens when people who are not equipped start running things, people who are not equipped mentally, emotionally, educationally, maturity-wise. You know, you don't hand a monkey an automatic weapon. You don't put these people in charge of anything. Not in charge of people's lives, not in any positions of authority. And, you know, we keep just, it's sweet. You know, I'm sick of everybody acting like the type of parent that just says, oh, Ron DeSantis over there is just expressing himself. So never mind that he runs around kicking old ladies in the shins. You know, no, it gets bad enough. You have got to grab these pieces of crap, these little junior son of a bitches, and whack them on their ass. You have to do that because you can't let them go too far. They always have to remain in your sight. You have to watch every little thing they do. If they run rampant, it's only going to be bad for everybody else. So, yeah, I'm sick of everybody treating the right-wingers with kid gloves. They are legit hurting people. They want to hurt people. They are fucking around playing with people's lives. Time to stop acting like the hippie parent. Somebody has got to whack them on their fucking ass and say that's enough. They need to know their place. And this is another thing, too. CNN literally let Trump complain for an hour on national TV. He should be able to get away with rape and coup attempts, so yeah. Any attorney representing Trump must shudder at the idea of allowing this dolt to speak in a courtroom. Guy knows how to distance himself from criminal wrongdoing in private, but he's a master at incriminating himself in public because he's never going to stop shooting his mouth off. Again, it's either a mental illness or it's low IQ. I don't know what it is. Anderson Cooper tried pulling a both sides argument to justify that shit. Disgusting. Just another clueless idiot sitting in a crystal castle. Eat them all. Careful, because they're armed with firearms and piss poor judgment. Trump going full Cartman only incenses his voter base, sadly. Imagine insurrections every day. I mean, that's what his entire platform is. He and his base want revenge. They want to take it all out on the blacks and the gays and the poors. They're all pathetic. They are the poors. These people giving their money to him. Do you think he's begging for donations from rich people he's already fucked over? Or are way too smart to have anything to do with him? He's asking for money from these shit stains that live in trailers, that constantly vote against their own interests. Oh, that's a lot of Republican sex offenders. The biggliest tears ever. No other president has seen as many tears as I have. No other president has made so many weep. No group in the history of the world has ever been treated more unfairly. All those mass genocides you may have heard about, nothing compared to this injustice.
Don't forget how he got to go golfing in a foreign country during a trial for which he was the defendant. It was a civil case. The only reason the judge didn't require him to surrender his passport. Thing with Trump is he needs to have the book thrown at him. He believes he can get away with anything, and people are proving him right with how lenient his punishments are. I'm telling you. You know, I think the reason there hasn't been another coup attempt or anything like J6 since J6 is because they're all crying like fucking babies as they're getting caught left and right. Every single one that has been caught and put on trial or convicted at any point, any step of the way, there was some little baby crying bullshit I didn't mean to do it. I was completely duped by Trump. It's all Trump's fault. He said he was going to pay my legal fees, and he's here not caring about me at all. Oh, I was just swept up in the moment. I believed all that right-wing bullshit. That's what they're all doing. Every single one of them cry like little bitches when they have to face the consequences for their actions and realize that Daddy Trump is not coming to bail them out. So you know what? I say we throw the book at him. Holy crap, let's sentence him to prison for the next 20 years. He'll probably be dead in 5, but whatever. Just throw the book at him. Hell, we have every opportunity to do whatever the fuck we want. Because his followers ain't gonna do shit. It's gonna be another half-assed attempt at trying to be a catalyst to some new civil war that is never going to take off. And when they're all caught and they're thrown in jail awaiting trial, they'll all use the same bullshit, childish excuses to try to get out of it. I think a lot of times in these high-profile cases, the judges try to do everything in their power to not hold them in contempt, to limit the reasons they might have to appeal. If this means he can't spend the next 10 years doing pointless appeals, I'm fine bearing it for now. Oh, like that alleged dependent sovereign citizen some months back? Yup, the shit was painful to sit through, but it happened for a reason. Any appeal he makes will be laughed out of court because of how far the judge went out of her way to not get triggered by him. They're also putting it in the record that he understands he cannot do certain things so that when he does and he gets arrested for it, he won't be able to appeal or try to weasel out of it. I get people are frustrated, but this makes sense in the long run. You don't want to give him any chance to wiggle out of it. But if he swears in a court of law under oath that he understands the rules, that means he's fucked when he breaks the rules. I think they're also making sure he can't win on a procedural technicality. If he's being given every chance and still lose, he can't come back after the fact and plead he was treated unfairly. Oh, he'll still claim it. These people don't live in the same reality we do. Problem is, his claims of being cheated are not directed at the court. They're directed at his bugfuck followers with the express purpose of riling them up and potentially convincing them to take matters into their own hands. We already know how effective he is at that. I don't know. Use small words, pictures too, lots of bright colors. People want him to be president and he has to attend a class on how to shut the fuck up. Make it real simple. Keep talking your shit and we take away every picture of Ivanka. I didn't know her. Oh, we should do that on purpose. Did y'all know there's a belt of people that complain about socialism while completely depending on it? Yep. Charlie Kirk says, facts. Bernie wants a $15 minimum wage. That would mean a gross salary of $31.2 thousand for 40-hour work week. But he wants to tax anyone making above $29,000 a year 52%. 52% is for income over 10 mil. And you know how marginal tax brackets work, right? That would make the gross salary $14,976, $288 a week. The rate for 0 to 95.25 is 10%. The rate for 95.25 to 38.7 is 12%. That's $2,089 total tax. $29,110.50 net salary. Don't know why he used gross for this. That's $559.81 per week. $288 divided by a 40-hour work week is $720 per hour. That's actually $13.99 per hour. Socialism sucks. Is the minimum wage socialism? We have that already. Is increasing the minimum wage socialism? We've done that already. Is Charlie Kirk genuinely this stupid or just really dishonest? We may never know. Okay. What the fuck did I just read? Florida rejects Holocaust education textbooks and clamp down on woke instruction. Florida's not safe for teachers. My friend showed Disney's Strange World in a classroom and a student reported it to their parents. Now she's under investigation by the state. Florida is not safe for teachers. Do not move here. Hey, like I said, I could go off like crazy on all the bullshit Florida is doing. You are getting what you wanted. You do nothing. This is what's going to happen. You know, there comes a point where it's not exactly the wannabe Hitler's fault anymore. There comes a point where it's now your fault for not doing anything. Just sit back and let it all happen around you. You know, I almost want to say just shit or get off the pot. Stop complaining if you're not going to do anything. Excuse me, I haven't finished incriminating myself. You want to know who owns George Santos, you got to find out who just paid off his $500,000 bail. Wow, his bail was only $500,000? Not enough said because I don't know who paid it. Yeah, that's a pretty important detail I'd like to know. It was Eddie Moscone bail bonds. George Santos isn't a flight risk. He invented the modern jet aircraft, didn't he? I heard he's a pilot and flew the last flight of the Concorde. He taught Captain Sully how to fly, and he also coached Tom Hanks for the movie role. When my sister bailed me out of jail, she only had to pay 10% of the $3K bond. She got it back when the situation was sorted out. Ten to 1, it was some MAGA pack. My thoughts too. While they may not like him, they need him to cast votes, and he can't do that from jail. And he did after getting arrested. This country is so fucked. Long Island does not equal this country. That's on them. In times gone by, these people would be held accountable by our free press. Of course, the free press has been made an enemy of the state by MAGAs. And it's been demonstrated that even when they do learn of criminal activity in their party, their voters simply dismiss it. Deny, deflect, gaslight. They don't care because there are no consequences. They don't care because they're too stupid to realize that Trump had a personal vendetta against the media. All this shit started when he ran for office. Because you want to know something? The media are the ones that covered all of his nefarious business practices. The media are the ones that covered each and every one of his failed businesses. They made him look like idiots in interviews. They covered all the money that he was losing. They smeared him in papers. They looked up his family history. They are probably the only ones that would really get in his way when he was bullshitting his way through life. He hates the press. He hates the idea of a free press, because as long as there's a free press, he can't get away with whatever he wants. So he was out to get these people when he became president. All of his followers just went into line behind him. And now the press is their enemy. The press still has the same responsibility as a free press has always had in a free nation. Again, the stupidity of people voting against their own interests, fighting against their own interests. He never hated the press because of what it may do to innocent people. He never hated the free press because of the mistakes they would make along the way. He never hated the free press because of how it may affect you. It's because of how it affected him. He doesn't give a fuck about you. That's why he doesn't like the press. Be so happy if politicians were held liable. Really embarrassing for Republicans because they chose a literal scam artist as their rep. Really embarrassing for Democrats because they lost a formerly solidly blue seat to a literal scam artist. Guys, do some opposition research. Long Island represents a perfect slice of the non-extreme people that turned Trump. Bored in suburbia, going to die where they were born. Mad that they need to be quiet about bigoted shit because it's not acceptable anymore. Along comes Trump to shake things up, saying the quiet part out loud. They can too. It's exciting for them and a new sense of community. They don't actually give a shit or hold any political beliefs. It's just a chance for them to feel special. In a world where they're in careers that bore them because they're safe, it's good pay, and they can afford to mortgage one of the same shitty Levitt houses they and my parents did. Rinse and repeat, the cycle continues. Wow, interesting. You'll say that about Long Island, but you know, the Midwest is absolutely nothing like that, is it? Your parents? Yeah. This isn't coming from any place of personal bias. Innocent until proven guilty is about what the state can do in regards to criminal conviction for specific cases. It does not mean you have to plug your ears and close your eyes as a private citizen and ignore overwhelming evidence of wrongdoing. It does not mean you cannot judge obvious facts. It does not mean someone immune from impeachment by their peers if they had morals or standards. No one is doing away with that by locking him in jail, but you're allowed to make the obvious statement that this person should never have been elected. New York Times reporting that there were 3 individual benefactors. No need to be rushing to judgment here. I don't know. I would like to know who bailed him out. Anyone else feel this way? When I see a flag on a house, my mind no longer says patriot. It says right-wing nationalist. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. That's how quickly things change. Oh boy. Yeah, I ain't gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole right now. Wow, Jon Stewart just went on Newsmax and completely slammed Republicans for slashing veterans' benefits in the budget proposal, saying Republicans don't support the troops, they support the war machine. Take a minute and watch this. Please show me a link. Fucking love Jon Stewart. I love his interviews. I once in a while have problems with certain things that he does, but nobody has the link. This interview is from July 2022. Okay, let's watch this shit. So this ain't even new. Because it's relevant again.
ripping into Republican senators on Wednesday after they abruptly halted a bipartisan bill that would expand health care access for military veterans exposed to toxic burn pits. The former host of The Daily Show, who now hosts The Problem with Jon Stewart on Apple TV Plus, has lobbied for the bill. He joins us live now to discuss this. John, thanks so much for coming on. We do appreciate that. I know you're in your car. You have a press conference coming up, I believe, in D.C. at 10:30. What is your message going to be, sir?
The message is going to be that this has to get done. This is abject cruelty. To vote against this bill, it's already passed. We passed it 84-16. There was just a minor technical fix that had to be done on it. 84-16, bipartisan, and then yesterday, 42 Republicans decided to vote against moving the amended version forward, but the amendment was only one sentence, and it was not a material amendment. And they've created distractions and hypocrisy. I mean, Senator Rick Scott of Florida just yesterday tweeted out, "I'm here at the USO, so honored to provide anything for our troops, and, for their heroism and courage." And then a few minutes later, he went on the Senate floor and denied them health care and benefits for the toxic exposures they received in the wars.
Right.
And it's just infuriating to see people say they support the troops. They don't support the troops. They support the war machine. They'll spend trillions of dollars on these wars, but they will not spend the money on the consequences of those wars to the individuals who fought in them.
If I could just jump in really quickly here, John, I just wanted for the viewers to understand what the PACT Act essentially putting in more enabling additional health care coverage for more than 3 million veterans that were exposed to toxic burn pits. This would be in the Vietnam era, obviously Agent Orange as well. But I did want to point out, just to push back a little bit on this, so the Republicans, when you say what you said, they do not support veterans. The Republicans push back saying there is unrelated spending within this.
It's not. It's just not true. What they're saying is they don't like that it's mandatory as opposed to discretionary. There isn't unrelated spending to it. They're saying there could be if there wasn't oversight, but that's what the Senate's job is. The bill itself is incredibly detailed and prescriptive about what it's for. It's about treating and preventing the different conditions that veterans are coming home with, including cancers and chronic bronchiolitis and all these other issues from their exposures in Iraq and Afghanistan. And to push back on what they're saying, what if this creates a slush fund, right? So are you familiar with something called the OCO, the Overseas Contingency Operations Fund?
Fairly, yes.
So every year, $50 billion, $60 billion, $70 billion is added to what's called the OCO, on top of the $600 billion, $700 billion, $800 billion that goes to the Defense Department. That OCO fund is actually a slush fund. $60 to $70 billion every year. No oversight, no guardrails. And every one of those Republicans that voted against health care for veterans voted for the slush fund for the war. They don't support the troops. They support the war machine. And that's got to stop. The value in the U.S. military isn't in the toys. It's not in the hardware. It's not in the tanks. It's in the men and women. And until they start supporting them in the manner that they purport to online, they are hypocrites.
It is Senator Toomey, really quickly, it is Senator Toomey that said he wouldn't support the bill because it would create $400 billion in unrelated spending. He calls it a budgetary gimmick. He also says if you could go ahead and fix this, they're ready to pass it. But you say you're not buying it.
First of all, that's just a lie. There isn't $400 billion in unrelated spending. The CBO score for the entire bill is estimated at $400 billion. But that's for the presumptive health care and benefits and a retooling of the VA so that they can handle the volume. Okay. That's got nothing to do with unrelated spending. What he's saying is if they use mandatory spending on it, What's to stop them from using it on something else?
Right.
It's a completely unrelated issue, and it's nonsense. And the other thing I would point out is they all voted for it on June 16th when it passed the Senate. Nothing in any of the funding has changed from the bill that they overwhelmingly passed. Senator Toomey is obstructing this, and he's whipped up his caucus to obstruct it for no discernible reason.
John, I got to wrap you up. I apologize because, as you're well aware, we're running low on time. I just want to really quickly, I know you're going to have your conference there at 10:30 a.m. I'll give you about 20 seconds if you can. Wrap that up for me. What do you expect out of today? What's going to be your announcement there in D.C.?
Today is going to be about, hopefully, the news media hearing the hurt, despair, and disbelief from the veteran community. All of the major VSOs will be there. They will be expressing their anger. And our position is these senators should not be able to leave this session. They should not be able to go home on vacation until this is fixed, until this is passed, and until we live up to the promise that we made to the veterans. They lived up to their promise to us. They fought for this country and they fought for us. And we have to defend them now.
All right. That is actor comedian Jon Stewart, also.
Yeah, this is old. Jon Stewart for president. I think he already said he would never run for president. He doesn't want to run for president. Uh-oh, Jon Stewart hater. Okay. Forget 2028. 2024 right now. I know we're all having a serious discussion here, but am I the only one who's hearing Mort Goldman from Family Guy saying, "Hurry, protect Jon Stewart. He's our most important Jew." Oh my God. You know, that's another reason Jon Stewart should totally run for president, because Jon Stewart is nervous at the idea that people actually want him to run for president. The idea of leading the free world scares the shit out of him. And it should scare the shit out of anybody who is sane and normal. Probably why Trump had absolutely no problem with it. But Jon Stewart has reservations about doing it. You see, that kind of a noble attitude. It's those little things that get that across. Oh God. So anyway, I am done here. I have to figure out how the hell I only got an A rank on my Resident Evil 4 remake assisted run last night. I'm also hungry, so it's time to eat some dinny din dins. So, see you guys.